So welcome back to the show. And I'm so excited. So I have been so blessed. I think now I don't know what number episode we are, but we're in the low 100s. And, for like the first 80 episodes, I only had one guest. And I've been so blessed that I've been able to get in touch with other professionals in the legal industry that have been, very accommodating to be guests on this podcast. And today I am so excited because I feel like each guest has been better than the last and they've all been amazing. So today I have Kimberly Bennett with us. Welcome to your Profitable Law Firm podcast. I'm Kelley Brubaker, your dedicated host, passionate about empowering law firm owners. Let's dive into the hidden strategies that lead to overflowing profits, scaled growth, and thriving lives. This is where overwhelm transforms into confidence, enabling you to create and enjoy your dream firm and your dream life. Kimberly, why don't you give us some background about yourself and then just to tell everybody, we're going to be talking about subscription legal services today, which I am so like, let's smash the hourly billing, get it out the door. So tell us about
100%.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, we are both lovers of hating the billable hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, hi, I'm Kimberly Bennett. I am a practicing attorney who's ran a practice for almost 15 years now. I don't know, maybe 15 years. Actually, it's 2025.
Good
Um,
for you.
and I've been practicing for going almost 20 years. And I really started practicing in '07 before the market crashed. And then the market crashed and my trajectory changed. And I just wanted to find a better way to serve my clients, to serve myself, to show up better, to not be stressed out about collecting money, finding money, chasing money, and just really wanted to do the thing that I was trained in and to grow in my career as an early attorney in a market that wasn't so friendly at the time. And so one day I happened on this thing that I today called subscription legal services. And so for almost 15 years, I ran a practice that focused on delivering subscription and flat fee legal services. I have not billed by the hour since 2011. And I do not regret it. I do not look back. I don't look towards it. But even more exciting, all that experience has led me to then coaching and training it to colleagues and other service-based professionals. And then finally where I am today, which is CEO and co-founder of Fidu. And we are a platform that is focused on helping flat fee and subscription law firms sell, deliver, and scale their businesses. So I'm really excited to be here and to chat with you because like we've had some really good offline conversations about this. I'm so excited to be doing this with you today.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm so excited that you're here. So we met because AffiniPay had a virtual legal summit, and I think that it was in March of 2025, and we were both speakers in different segments. So I think they called them fireside chats, and
Yeah.
we were in two different segments, but the AffiniPay team is very welcoming and, hosted several dinners for the speakers. And it was an amazing event. And I got to know a lot of different people that I hadn't yet met. And so you were one of them. And I actually think we sat next to each other at dinner both nights. And
Yeah, I think,
like
yeah, we
picked
did.
on you like, oh my goodness, I love you.
I felt the same.
Oh, awesome. But yeah, I mean, we just started talking about, getting rid of the hourly. I like the same, like this year is year 20 for my firm and that I've been on my own. And I just dreaded the hourly billing because not only do you have to track your time, and at least in the accounting world, I could get by with doing like every 15 minutes instead of 6 minutes.
Mhm.
6 minutes kills me, man. That point one, point two.
Yeah.
But But just that you've got to track the time and then let it accumulate. And then do I bill every week? Do I bill every other week? I know in the legal industry, it's once a month, which that is a killer to go once a month. So if you worked on day one of a month and then you don't bill it until the first day of the next month, okay, there's 31 days. And then
Hmm.
if you mail it, oh my God, people still mail legal bills. So if you mail instead of email, like now you got to wait for the postal service to, the carrier to deliver
And
it.
hope it doesn't get lost.
And if it doesn't get lost, and then they write a check because if you mail it, they're not paying by credit card. and then they have to mail the check back and it has to come back. I mean, you're seriously looking at a minimum 45 days to get paid. And that is just, to me, that's unreasonable. We are professionals. We deserve to be paid. And by flipping into subscription, it like you get paid in advance. And
Yep.
so let's talk about, the advantages and we'll talk about disadvantages too. But what are the advantages of moving away from hourly into subscription?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit like one of the biggest ones. I think that I mean, we're talking money here, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't, I didn't chase any more money. You're not chasing money. You're getting paid on time, ahead of time, all the time. That's the best way I like to describe it, right? I don't have accounts receivable. I'm not thinking about that friction point of like, when do I send it? Am I going to get paid enough? You're really thinking about being transparent, being upfront, and knowing out the door if someone is going to move forward with your services. So, like, first and foremost, getting paid on time, all the time, every single time. Also, it brings a lot more transparency to your interactions, right? Like, how do you show up to your clients? Transparency looks like them knowing the price, but transparency also looks like them understanding the scope. And the thing that makes a subscription really important and profitable, and a subscription that's not scoped is not a subscription, right? You want to scope it. What's
Yes.
included and what's not. Clients have that clarity. You have that clarity when it's time to then deliver on what do they get, what's there, what's not included, what's going to be an additional cost. You get the opportunity to tell them it doesn't include everything. So you don't have to be held into just one fee and then feel like it balloons and you don't know what to do. Right. You really have a lot more flexibility, a lot more transparency. You have your money up front. And then like on the other maybe softer things that I think are really important from a well-being perspective, it just brings a lot of ease and it reduces your stress load
It
of being
does.
a business owner. Like it's stressful to be a business owner. Like we all decided to take on this like business owner thing and you thought, yay, yay. And then you're like, oh, all the hats that you're wearing, particularly if you're just starting out. But then as you grow, the hats are responsibilities for the people that you're supporting or responsibilities for the
Yeah.
clients that you're serving or whatnot. And so I really think it reduces that, not every stress, but that kind of stress and allows for you to embrace curiosity and creativity in how you design and deliver your services and how you take time off for yourself and for your team.
No, absolutely. I think and then I find it's easier to budget not only your time but your
Hmm.
money because now you're like, "Okay, I've got this person," and maybe I know for me it's typical to do a 12-month engagement, as an accounting person, but, maybe for you it's a 3-month thing or maybe it's ongoing until whatever the situation is resolves but it just like you have more lead time as to when it's gonna end.
Yep.
So you've got a workload and you've got cash coming in the door. And I
Yep.
just like, it's just such a relief. Like, I just
Yep.
I can't even explain, like, how much, I don't wanna say easy because that makes it seem like this is a very easy thing to do. There's not an easy button in life, right?
Right.
But anything we can do as a business owner to make things easier as a business owner, oh, I'm all for that. So
Same. I mean, like, not even to really elevate forecastability and predictability in your numbers. Like, I was able to hire smarter. I was able to take vacation without the stress. Like all the things that when you have a 45-day outstanding bill that you are hoping someone pays,
I know.
that's
Please, please.
right. Like that doesn't lend itself to creating a good working environment that doesn't have an underlying level of ongoing stress. And stress is a part of like again, no easy button. I'm not sitting here acting like, it's the magic pill that comes in and relieves everything that's not working, but it does take away some of these other pieces and allows for you to step back and really think about how do I run this business sustainably, scalably? How can I leverage my numbers to be predictable and forecastable? How do you actually build a process driven tech enabled firm? Like that
Yeah,
happens when, for me, you stop billing by the hour and you really start thinking about how do I deliver this time and time again in a consistent way at scale.
right. Absolutely. So, no, I think this is all good stuff. So, to be completely fair, what would be the downsides?
Yeah.
So, what
Yeah.
are the struggles and the downsides to switching, getting rid of
Yeah.
hourly?
So if all of your clients are hourly and they love hourly and they don't want to come, it could be like finding a new client base. It could be educating your clients on a new model, right? You have things, I mean, in a subscription, you have churn. One of the biggest things you think about a subscription is like how many people then decide that they don't want to stay on your subscription. They stop paying, a credit card declines. They feel like well, I got what I paid for. They didn't understand the value. So the same issues that exist outside of a subscription are going to exist inside of a subscription. But I do think you want to be thoughtful on making payment process easy. If your payment process is difficult, you're going to have difficulties if there's like a hiccup in the payment process. You're going to have clients that, some clients may come and go depending on your subscription type. If you're a subscription that's a low
Yeah.
cost subscription, you might have a lot of people turn over. And so what I think a subscription does also require of a business, particularly, in this industry, is one that builds a pipeline of potential prospects, right? Of potential clients. And that you there's a lot of times where you can like get a client and you forget it. Like you want to actively nurture your pipeline. But I think this is all the stuff that you would have. But actively
Right.
nurturing, paying attention to the energy and like kind of the way your clients are engaging your services if they're going to drop, having enough protections in for dropping. But really, I think the biggest thing is like understanding that a client's not going to be with you forever, and that you should plan for that and have a plan in place. Because if their card declines, if whatnot, you have to have a process to say what happens if it declines. If you don't, you're gonna
Right.
okay. Let me give them a 2 weeks. Let me give them a month, and then now you're about back into accounts receivable. So
Exactly. Absolutely. So, so one thing I know that I will get pushback from if I would recommend this to like a PI firm. They're like, nope,
mhm.
contingent the only way. So I get that, and I do. I do think that there would be a struggle because they're not billing hourly; it's all contingent. I get that part. Are there are there practice areas that subscription services work better for or worse for? Like, what do you see? Like, who's successful with it? Let's start there.
Yeah. So I will say I agree with you in that you just have to know your client base. You have to know how you operate. Like the ones that are least successful are the ones that don't have the buy-in from the team members. Like no matter how much, if your mindset is in it, if you're not buying is in it, I don't care how good your subscription is, you're not going to be able to confidently sell it. You have to
That's
confidently
true.
sell it and make sure it's right. But where do you see the biggest uptick in subscriptions? I think the obvious space will be business because for many
Yeah.
years businesses have been pushed to do better with their pricing, with capping fees, with bringing transparency. And because a firm is working with a business, that business to business relationship tends to push back more than sometimes you see in others. So I think business lawyers have been forced to think about this. They do, the retainers, which is not a subscription. I
Yeah.
should say what a
Yeah.
subscription is. I'll do that in a second.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like, but business you definitely see. Some of the areas that we see really successful business, IP, real estate. Just talking to some immigration attorneys, so I think that's a really good opportunity. It's like really thinking
That's where I was
about,
heading. Yeah. I
yeah,
was
like
wondering about the immigration piece. Yeah.
yeah, estate planning. Estate planning, IP business. There's a lot of like
Okay.
things that are similarities across that kind of like family as a unit, and the business as IP is like, these units of like of like intellectual
Right.
property that you have, right? So
Right.
those are some, but you see it in every practice area. So, and I will say in the space of if you're like contingency, you're like, no way, subscription. No, you're not going to bill. You're not going to bill on a subscription model because it doesn't work. What I
Right.
was just doing a talk for Georgia Bar like last week, I think. And someone who was it was contingency or PI asked me, and I was like, well, the thing you want to think about a subscription is about being process driven. And those are very process driven businesses. The one thing I know when I meet
Absolutely.
really like successful PI firms, they're process driven. So the underpinnings, the foundation of a subscription is being process driven and tech enabled. And so you can
Okay.
leverage the subscription tools that are exist. And of course, that can sound very self serving, but whatever exists out there, you
Right.
can leverage
Right.
those tools if they're process driven and tech enabled because you're not one of the things as a part of the model is how you bill, but also a bigger part is how you deliver it so that people stay month after month because churn is your biggest risk. Increasing the lifetime value is something you want to do to increase your profit margins. So, but I would say I would say I see those practice areas, but up and coming ones, family law, immigration, criminal law does flat fee. So any practice area that does flat fee is primed to do
Okay.
subscription.
Okay. So then you brought up a good point. What's the difference between retainer and subscription?
Yeah. So a retainer is reactive. It is holding you just in case, and it usually is a setting a bad tone with usually the client because what you're doing is saying like you're holding my time in a legal space, particularly in case something happens. You are preventing us from being retained by someone that's in conflicting status, which of course that's generally how it always works. But you're also
Right.
holding our firm in time in case something happens, and you're paying it regardless of what happens. The difference with a subscription, it's proactive. It is saying, sure, yes, you are now taking up our resources by us supporting you. But instead of us just saying, when something happens, come, it's let us work alongside you to help you along your goals. And so a subscription is simply a set of services or products for a particular client or customer for a defined interval. So like a month, a year, a quarter, whatever you want, for a recurring flat fee. And
Yeah.
the real thing is like proactive, supportive services that helps clients along a pathway, and not simply just saying I'm reserving your time and actually don't check in at any point. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I'll tell you that so that benefit, so when I know when I flipped and got rid of hourly billing, it was selfish because I was just tired of tracking my time.
Mhm.
And when I first opened, I had a team that worked for me, and I was just tired of all the timesheets and just compiling all of it and getting the bills done. I just got tired of it, right?
Mhm.
And once I flipped to this hourly or to a flat fee every month, and paid it first of the month for the rest of the month. And the huge benefit I found was that clients were willing to call me
Mhm.
proactively. So instead of waiting 6 months after something happened, they'll say like if I had a business owner who wanted to buy a car, instead of going and buying a car in their
Mhm.
personal name and then 6 months later saying, "Oh, how do I get this as a tax write-off?" And I'm like, "Well, you should probably make that a business asset."
Mhm.
But if you
Right.
would have called me 6 months ago when you bought it, we could have saved yourself a whole bunch of time. But that was one of the very first benefits right away. I'm like, and I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
It was not my goal was very selfish to stop at the
Mhm.
timesheets, but and the billing. But the benefits are like now you're a team and a partner. You're working with
Yeah.
your clients.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so
And
that's just a huge benefit.
it's a total shift in the energy between the client and the attorney, the client and the
Yeah.
provider's relationship. And I 100% agree because you want to incentivize calling because the subscription doesn't have to
Yeah.
include everything. There's things that you're like, right? Like if they decided to add a different, add a subsidiary, I'm sure your
Yeah.
flat fee is not including that new subsidiary you wanted to start. Fantastic. We can have a conversation about it. But
Yeah.
now let's then put together what that cost would be to start that new subsidiary, right? And what are all the things that you need from a financial perspective. It's like the same idea. And with the retainer, a lot of times it's like, no, it doesn't include you calling. It just
Yeah.
you're holding, right? Like
Yes.
anything above this hold amount then gets, billed again. And it brings a negative energy to the entire attorney client or service provider relationship and client relationship that shifts when you want your clients to say, we're here and we're working along the same goal. And
Right.
we've
Absolutely.
expressed the goal. We understand what the goal is. Now let's have a conversation to help you achieve that goal.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's just so much you're right. It's all about the energy and I just
Mhm.
love that, moving in that forward momentum. So let's talk about Fidu
Mhm.
because it sounds great and then I know where I struggled is when I started this, for me, I still had to go in and create my bills every month because,
Mhm.
I started doing this, yeah, I don't know, like 10 or 15 years ago. So
Right.
I'd have to get into QuickBooks and then back then I don't even I'm pretty sure back then I couldn't I couldn't even copy an invoice. I would have to sit and type up my invoices every month. So you have to go like now they have a little bit of automations with it, um, but you'd have to go in, like, I have to type them all out, figure, did I bill? I'd have my little Excel spreadsheet of all the
Mhm.
clients, how much I'm gonna bill and all that. So let's talk about Fidu and what this platform will help with subscription-based legal services.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest goal is to really allow for teams to deliver ongoing value to their clients without you having to work ongoing hours, right? And like it's just that shift so that you're not tying everything you do to an hour and you're thinking outcomes, you're thinking deliverables, you're thinking what's my client's goals, and that's what's front and top of mind. And the administrative part of it, how can we reduce or eliminate it, right? I think as service providers, we're never going to get to 100% automation, nor should we want to be, right?
Oh,
We're we're
agree.
we're,
Yeah,
we're service providers, right?
right.
We want to be professional service providers who use our expertise and our experiences to help you along a pathway. And so what we want to do in Fidu is then take the things that are administrative, take the things that maybe cause bottlenecks and work towards making them happen consistently over and over again, because consistency is also a part of a subscription, so that you can
Yep.
scale it if you want to scale it, so that you can take time off if you want to take time off, so that the clients know what's going on without you having to say, "Oh, you're at this stage of the matter of the case of your project," whatever term you use. And that's kind of where we're focused on. So we support from engagement to disengagement. So we are really focused on the client. What is the client's view of what's happening, and how are they communicated about what's happening, while also allowing for you to move the work through. So, like, a client has access to 3 calls a month, you can manage those 3 calls a month. When the client has used them all up, they can either be grayed out, they have nothing left, or you can even say, sure, you want to buy another one, you have to pay for it. That can happen in Fidu. You want a
Yep.
client, legal uses intake a lot. I hate that word personally, but I prefer engagement process and onboarding. So that's the terms you'll see in
Yep.
Fidu. So we
Okay.
help you with getting a client signed up, paid, onboarded into the platform, and start going. You set it once and done. So it's like, how do we templatize everything? How do we realize
Yeah.
what is process driven, tech enabled firm? It is saying, like, you have a way of doing it. If you haven't written it down, doesn't matter, y'all. You have a way of doing it. You just didn't write it down. So you can't learn from what's working and what's not. But now you can. You put it in platform, you tell the platform how you do these things, and then it does it every single time. And if you see a hiccup, you can fix it once, and it fixes for everyone moving forward who's going to use that same project template, who's going to use that same page template, who's going to be on that particular service and have a particular dashboard. So we're really focused on making it easier to deliver, although you do need to build it, right? So you have to build it,
Right.
come in with the idea of what you want to build, and then we help you make the delivery as seamless as possible.
No, I think that's awesome. I just because I know what I struggle with, and that like solves so many of the problems when it comes to delivering this service. So
Yeah, because I feel like when we're thinking about transitioning to this model, it could feel like there's so many things that we have to change. And I was like, so I was having this conversation recently, just you don't need to change everything. It's not like we don't know what we're doing. You know how to operate. It's just, how can we bring some more technology to how we operate, how we
yeah,
can bring process to how we operate, how can we make the delivery simpler, so that we can actually unlock their creativity and curiosity that we all have when we entered any of our professions, but that gets bogged down in the day to day. And so I think when you're looking to transition to this type of model, it's not going from 0 to 100. It's saying, okay, I'm hourly today. What do I want to do? Let's like dabble with some flat fees. Let's
yeah,
let's get ourselves to a space where I can pitch a client a flat fee that's scoped and time bound, right? That can help them, that can help you see, can you hold yourself accountable to get it done in this amount of time? And when the things hiccup, what was the reason and why? And then slowly then start saying, well, now that I've done that flat fee, what would it look like if I provided more ongoing support and more ongoing services? And how can I reframe the way I put that flat fee as one package, but break it up across, the course of them trying to do big things? Like, to me, family law clients are not doing divorce. You're helping your client
yeah,
have a happy life post divorce, right?
right,
IP attorneys are not filing trademarks. Yeah, technically that's the thing you do. What you're doing is
right.
helping small brands create big impact by getting on shelves, right?
Absolutely.
Like, we have to do better about what our goals are. And I think that this model is about that, particularly in all this AI stuff. So
Yeah. No, I love all that. So I've completely enjoyed this conversation, and we could probably sit and talk for hours about this. Um, but let's start working on wrapping up. And I know we've talked before. I know that you do live demos. And
mhm.
so if somebody's interested in Fidu or talking about subscription stuff, what would be like the easiest way to get a hold of you?
Yeah. So come to our website, fidulegal.com. So FIDULEGAL.com / demo for the demos. We do every so often, we do a subscription week, which is our live like training. So we're looking to provide 360 support. So yes, we have the platform, but we do the training, we do the support, we help with strategy, we help with implementation. So if you're interested, just reach out. Come to one of our live sessions, join me or Blaine, and let's like have a conversation about what you're interested in. Give me all the questions, give me all the pushback, tell me why you think it won't work, and I can maybe help you unlock opportunities to see what small shifts you can make to start the pathway towards getting out of the billable hour for good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because I know when I switched, scope was like a big weakness of mine
Mhm.
because I
Same.
wanted to be everything to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "Oh yeah, come in, pay me 250 a month and I will do everything for you." And then in my head, I know what I meant, but they're hearing everything. And
Right.
then it's like before I know it, I have all this mail and I'm like, "What am I doing? Why where did all this work come from?" I'm like, "Well, time out. I need to better like define how this is
Right.
working." So, it won't be perfect. You're going to stumble. Like there's no lies here. But just it's I think if you can find one client, start there
Mhm.
and then figure like get through that one, right? And then you start to
100%.
see like, oh, I'm getting now I see that shift. And then you can start transitioning. So it's
Yeah,
just
like
baby steps, right?
yeah, think about, like, the client who's maybe, like, asks you follow-up questions. You're like, "Man, I wish I could just, like, I'm always answering these follow-up questions. How can I support them ongoing?" Pitch them. See what would it be like if we worked together ongoing for this amount? What would you be willing to pay? Would you help me test this out? Would you give me feedback?
Yeah.
Test it. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overcomplicate the pricing. Goodness, we can have a whole conversation about pricing. Do not
Yep.
overcomplicate the pricing, y'all. Do not
Yep.
overcomplicate
Yep.
the pricing. And just get it out there. Your first version isn't meant to be profitable. It's meant to give you feedback, understanding,
Yeah.
so you can test and iterate again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lessons and baby steps. That's the thing.
Right.
So,
I love that.
well, Kim, thank you so much for being here. I've had a great conversation with you. I'm so excited, and I'm sure that listeners will enjoy this episode as well. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Running a successful law firm takes more than legal expertise. It requires financial mastery, strategic planning, and data driven decision making. At my accounting firm, Profit Scale Thrive, we specialize in helping law firms achieve lasting profitability by providing tailored financial guidance, optimizing cash flow, and equipping you with the insights needed to scale with confidence. Ready to take your firm's finances to the next level? Join our private community for law firm owners called Your Profitable Law Firm Community. Each month, we dive deep into essential topics about the business side of running a law firm. This is your opportunity to connect with other firm owners, share challenges, and discover proven solutions in a supportive environment. Visit ProfitScaleThrive.com today to join our community and access resources specifically designed for law firm owners just like you. Have a question about today's episode? Drop a comment below. Know of another firm owner struggling with their finances? Share this episode. It might be exactly what they need. Click that subscribe button to get notified when we release new episodes with more practical financial insights for your firm. If you found value in today's discussion, please take a moment to leave a review. Your feedback helps other law firm owners find this content. And remember, profit is something you intentionally plan for in the beginning. It's not a potential bonus at the end of the year. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you inside the Your Profitable Law Firm community.